Hey all, and this is the Menace of the Swarm. This is a Fire Slayer event and Arcane Killer. So I've only got a couple of teams this time around, but they're okay. First one here is for the solo bosses. The second one here is for the guild bosses. So I'm going to talk through the solo boss team first. Then I'll go through some other potential ideas you can use as well if you have the event deck. So this is actually the same as what I've used in previous videos. High performance unit area used to get that supercharged buff. Metaverse Masters used to boost up the next card that's used. And that next card is Blitzkrieg Beast. This is the main hitting card. It's actually still a pretty decent card, especially as it's 5 pink stars. Creates quite a few power gems. But yeah, the intention here is to get that to do as much damage as possible. And then Heretic Hunters, this is basically used to convert the dark gems into fire gems. It also creates a lot of power gems as well, which is useful. And then, finally, Bonafide Brawlers. This is the only Fire Slayer card that has the killer skill I need, that's relatively modern anyway, so this kind of needs to be on the team. Doesn't really do a lot, apart from create a few power gems. Arcane Killer attack is not really useful with this team. It might be useful if you have the event deck though. It's something you could try anyway since it increases Arcane Killer attack. So it is quite a complicated team, but surprisingly simple to use. You just have to make sure you get high performance unit area going on the second turn when the enemy attacks. Then basically just go from left to right in order to use this team. If you have a better immortal killer card, I'll just have a look through, then you could use that instead. I have a few other options that I could use in replace of Blitzkrieg Beasts, for example, on a roll, Luminaries. This actually increases its own attack as well, so this might be a better option. This one also increases Fire Slayer attack, but you need to remember also that attack is nowhere near as good as increasing damage. So I may try out a few other options as the event progresses as well. So moving on to the relics from left to right, we start with Raised Staff. This is on the team mainly because it has that percentage increase to attack. You can see the attack upscaling, 47.1%. It's a pretty decent relic as well, considering it's quite an old relic. Legend relics are always pretty useful. It's a shame there's not another Legend relic collection. Haven't had one of those for a long time. And then for the other relics, it's basically just relics to break the shields, all my best relics, so nothing too exciting there. The last two, I believe, are the Arcane relics. Yeah, there we go. I need 2 relics for Arcane as I don't have that many Fire Slayer cards on the team. In actual fact, there's only 2 on this team, so it is kind of a weird team, if I'm being honest. So what other options are there? Well, let's have a look. One option you could try with the event deck is Circuit Break Hilaria, if I can find her. Just need to scroll down a bit. Yeah, there we go. This one has a pretty significant boost to Arcane Killer attack. You could try this on the team with the event deck. Another possible option is, let's have a quick look if we can find it. Yeah, there we go, near the top, the Jailers. If you have delay cards on the team, this could also be quite useful since it's another card that increases Arcane Killer attack. It's worth trying anyway to see what you can do and what sort of damage you end up doing with the team. You may want to make something really strange like combining Metaverse Masters with the Jailers and possibly even Circuit Break Hilaria as well with just the event ultimate form. So yeah, the best teams I've seen seem to use the Jailers plus Metaverse Masters, then the event ultimate form and 2 other fire cards. Sometimes Heretic Hunters is used, Sometimes it's 2 Fire Slayer cards. That's what I would recommend for this event if you do have the event deck and all the other cards as well that are needed. So there's not too much point in talking through this team. It's just 5 event ultimate forms with 5 relics. Just the 1 arcane killer relic at the end though, so nothing too exciting about that team. It's just mainly used for the guild bosses. I'm not focusing too much on the vault this event, so let's move on to the actual event gameplay. Here we go. So I've gone all the way to umbrals in the event just to see what they look like now, and well, the HP on them is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to be honest. 162 Q on a level 260 umbral. That's about double what it was before, I believe. See, I'm going to give this a go anyway, but I don't think this is going to go especially well. It gives you all a chance to see my team in action. This boss has dodge, which means it's going to be quite awkward to defeat anyway. But let's give it a go and see what happens. You probably saw, but I didn't bother to lock the boss. There's good reason for that, and that's because I don't think I'm even going to be able to take off maybe a quarter of it. We will see though. So turn 1, match anything. Turn 2, use Metaverse Masters. Hopefully you'll get enough dark gems to light up high performance unit area. If not, you have to wait another 2 turns unfortunately. But that's quite good for dodge. It's not so good on the other bosses. The other bosses have mute and power gem silence this time around. And then it's just a case with this boss of waiting until the dodge has gone down basically. Here we go. So now I can hit it. It's just left to right basically with this team. Nothing too difficult here. And then hope for a few loose power gems, but there wasn't really anything there. That's still not too bad. 3.5 Q is that? Yeah. Now just repeat the process. Get area going again. And then hope for another hit. Yeah, just got to wait for dodge to go down. There's a few hitting this boss that are actually doing decent damage to it. Unlike myself, who's not really doing anything. But, yeah, this really is the best I can make up. I simply don't have anything else other than maybe a commander deck. I don't really want to use a commander deck for this. Hopefully you can all make up something a bit better. The boss is going to die pretty quickly now. The bosses with mute on them are the worst ones, without a doubt. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm even going to get 5% on this. The deck is simply not strong enough. We will see though, I might. At least it gives you an idea of how to use the deck. Let's see what I got. Nope, I didn't even get 5% on that boss. Even though I got 5th on the hitting for damage. Yeah. It's going to be one of those events, unfortunately. It's going to be very difficult to really get anywhere. So here's the nasty boss with mute on it this time around. I'm going to give this a go. I think this is going to get even worse than the previous boss, but this time I have locked it. So let's see what happens. Again, the HP on the boss is pretty ridiculous. You need the event ultimate form and other cards. Basically, with this sort of team, you can't really do that much, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Hopefully this will go better than the previous boss. Unfortunately, I haven't got area up from turn 2, so now it could... Oh no, it didn't hit area with mute, so that's alright. I can remove it now. With this team, it basically all relies on luck to a certain extent. If area gets muted, then you really can't do a single thing. It's an absolute nightmare, basically, but yeah. It's going to be a difficult event for me. Very difficult event. Hopefully I won't drop out of Emperors, because that would be a complete disaster. But it might happen, in which case, yeah. Not going to be happy if that happens. I'm in Silver at the moment, though. I shouldn't really be in Emperors. Last event, I got Global, but only 6 in Emperors. So work that out if you can. But yeah, the problem this time around, though, as you can see, mute, basically. You just have to wait until area does not have mute before you can really do anything. Yeah. The healing's good on this team, though. You can probably see I'm not taking any real damage. It heals automatically after each turn. That's the only good thing I will say about this. It's a tough event, though. I should have probably stuck with Radiance. All the trophies are in the umbrals, though, so yeah. And I think this is going to carry over until Commander as well. But you can see it's not even really denting the boss. It's not really doing anything at all. The HP doesn't even seem to be moving with a team like this. So I'm not really sure what I can do, if I'm being honest. They're making the game way too difficult. But anyway, I think, yeah, I've been muted, so I'm going to quit out of this boss. But at least it gives you an idea of what my team can do. And hopefully you can all make up something better, either based on this or using a different team. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the event rewards. This is one of the areas of the event that I do really like, actually. Probably to balance the fact that the umbrals are extremely difficult. We have some lovely GVG relic runes and the relic at the bottom as well. This is always fun. Claim all of this, then see if I can upgrade my GVG relic or not. Go claim all of this quickly. There we go. Now let's have a look at the forge. What do you think? Will I be able to upgrade my GVG relic or not? Well, we're going to find out. Oh, missing one, okay. That's to be expected. Look at those runes. I've got 11 of one rune, 8 of another. But that's the rune I want, and well, yeah. None of that rune. I don't really use fire attack teams that much anyway. I mainly focus on the dark team. I am working on a light team, though. Hopefully I will have that at a semi-decent state at some point. I'm just going to upgrade this to 6 pink star, or not pink stars, normal stars, should I say. Yeah, that would be nice. A support hero at 6 pink stars. Anyway, Slayer and Arcane Killer, and it's, there we go. It shouldn't take too long. There we go, nice. Right, so that's the support hero. Let's see what random 6-star hero I get this time around. I already have, I believe, all of the collection cards. Yeah, you can see that. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay. Is that a Master and Ultra hero? It's something old anyway. That's probably one of the best cards I could have got out of the ones available from that, so that's not too bad, I guess. And now let's have a look. Emperors, unfortunately. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we will see. It's a Dragoon as well. Upgrades 10 Earth Power Gems by 1 rank. That's an interesting battle skill for a Dragoon. As I always say with the Dragoons, unless I can see what it specialises into, I can't really say how effective it's going to be. I'm only going to get a 5-star version of this at best as well, so yeah, probably not something I will use, but if you have a decent Earth attack team, you may want to consider using it. So since it's the last event in the season, make sure you use up all your choice coins, otherwise they will be converted into loyalty coins at the end of the season. Which deck should you get though if you still have spare coins? Well, here are the 5 decks in the season. From best to worst, here are my personal opinions. Most important deck to get is the Water Slayer one, without a doubt. That 500% damage buff is extremely important, and it works on all water heroes. Then probably go for the light deck next. It's pretty unusual to see light commander decks with damage bonuses on them. Plus it's 3 turns as well, so yeah, I'd highly recommend getting this deck next if you already have the water deck. Then probably next, I'd recommend getting the dark deck. This was another really good deck. Again, it's similar to the light deck. I think the buff's the same, except it's only 2 turns instead. It does have a passive though as well that cleanses debuffs, so yeah, good card, plus a revive as well. So yeah, the light and dark are pretty much on par with each other if I'm being honest. Then 4th deck, I'll go for this one personally. I mean, it's not that good, but it's okay. 100% is alright. It's 4 turns as well. And an upgrade as well. It's not a bad deck, actually. None of the decks are especially bad. But this is probably the second weakest deck. Then finally, the worst deck in the season is unfortunately the Earth deck. But it is Immortal Killer. So not necessarily a bad deck. Increases self-damage though, so it is actually a hitting card. So yeah, despite all of that, it is the worst deck in the season, even though the battle skill is actually alright. Plus the ambush as well. So yeah, quite surprising that. It's been a pretty good season for decks, in all honesty. These have all been strong decks, and if you can get all 5 decks, then that's really good. Now to finish off, let's have a look at the news feed, then the event deck in more detail. So you can see here, it's mentioned about the Umbral Guild and solo bosses. Unfortunately, I really think that's a bad idea. It was quite fun being able to kill the bosses relatively fast. And they didn't really need to be made stronger, but yes, to try and make you spend as expected. Then it's just something for the spenders, a legend pass, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. Then the event deck itself, I've done 3 tiers of the vault. I was only planning to do 2. I want to get more coins with the gems I have, ideally. So I could try and get the other half of the Earth deck, since that's the only deck I could really get out of the 2 I don't have. Yeah, I've already talked a bit about this. You can see, increases Fire Slayer damage. Has that upgrade. It's definitely the sort of deck that needs either the Jailers or Circuit Break Hilaria, I think, to boost it up a bit more. But I'm sure you can all make something out of this if you do have this deck. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, leaving a like and subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. There are a few other videos on the screen you may enjoy as well. Feel free to check those out if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.